Now we're good. There we go.
I am skinny. I'm a skinny dude, but I've gained like 5-10 pounds over the last like 6 months or something, and it feels good. Like it feels I feel myself moving out of a 21-year-old, a 13-year-old body. I've had
Noah's having his bar mitzvah now at 27.
I've had just a little boy. You can see my ribs through my back body for like over 10 years.
We need to put you on a chair and just Hava Nagila you. Because I feel like everyone needs to experience that.
You recircumcise me.
Recircumcised.
Even Gentile goys like him.
You have to redo it every 10 years.
You got to get re-upped on
just
it.
Just a trim.
It grows back. Does yours grow back?
What if there was like hair cutting places for your foreskin?
Foreskin?
It's like, I just want a little off the top.
That would be nice.
I knew a guy who was trying to grow his back.
Yeah, there's a whole...
He had a Snapchat relationship with like a physical therapist who was showing him how to... What he was doing, he was Snapchatting an old man pictures of his penis and his progress pictures. But he would just... this lady would tell him how to do these different exercises, and basically he would just grab the skin on the penis and try to stretch it up over the head of his dick over and over again until his...
Well, I did that as a kid, but I wasn't trying to do anything. I was just bored, trying to... I was stimming.
Here's the tragic
shoving my dick into my... You ever did that? Try and make it disappear into your body?
Of course, yeah.
I'm a little girl.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was trying to do, dude. You know, that is actually how
I was circumcised.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay, good. Yeah, all right.
Everyone here
normal.
You look at Zach. You don't see. There's no extra fluff.
Yeah.
He's aerodynamic.
We're all
so
clean.
true.
I was about to kick you out of my house.
Hell no,
It's ridiculous. Let me just say, it's ridiculous to make the cleanliness argument if you're worried about the. If you're worried
Don't get Nick started.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, oh, well, then why don't you sew your son's asshole shut if you're worried about him being clean, right?
If I could, I would. If I have a kid and my kid shits, I will lose my mind.
It's not right. Here's what sucks about trying to grow your foreskin back.
Because Nick's done it.
The thing, because it's a fruitless endeavor. Because you might be able to like stretch the skin back over, but you're not going to get the nerve endings back, dude. Yeah. It's such a horrible swindle that the Jews have pulled on us. Now you can see where all my anti-Semitic like feelings come from.
Yeah, it was. I bet it was just to try and make Jewish ladies come because we thought maybe they'd calm down. We kill our nerve endings, last a little longer.
Wait, why would they make the Jew?
It's written in the Torah. No,
I gotcha.
No, I'm just guessing. I'm trying to guess what was the real because they say it's for God, but I think that wasn't the real. It probably started for some other reason, and they were like, let's just make this.
It was probably for some like stone. We can't talk about circumcision ever again on this podcast. But
ban topic.
Think about part of the Bible where Abraham, like all the dudes in his neighborhood came over and he cut all their dick skin off and he put it in a big pile and burned it.
I think you're combining stories.
Am I combining stories?
There's the burning bush.
Well, I'm not thinking about the burning bush. I know the burning bush.
He's thinking about Abraham.
That's Moses. I'm talking about Abraham.
Yeah,
because he decided for his whole.
You're probably right.
Village, his whole hood, like everybody's got to come over. I'm gonna cut your dick.
Was that another thing where
that was their gang thing?
Where God was also supposed to tell him not to do that, like with Isaac, because he was gonna kill him. Yeah, he was gonna kill Isaac, but then God stopped him. But do you think God did the same thing? He was like, cut off everybody's foreskin, and then he just like
he forgot to set an alarm.
Yeah,
he forgot to set the alarm to like remind Abraham it was a joke.
He was like, oh fuck, I guess they're all gonna do that now. Yeah, no.
And they showed him, and God was like, "Yeah, great,
nice." Yeah,
he did the thing that I was serious about.
Because you can't, if you're God and you tell somebody to do that, you cannot go back on your word because it calls everything into question.
Yeah,
that is probably how we got there.
Yeah. See, my phone was on silent. I didn't hear the. Yeah, I don't know, but think about how much dust you would have gotten in your foreskin if you were like one of the original Jews wandering the desert.
Oh, yeah, when you weren't showering?
Just kicking up dust, constantly catching it in there.
I guess in a world before showers, I can almost see, because I'm sure if it builds up, maybe like, it crusts over and then you like can't piss out of your dick hole or something. I'm sure there were I'm sure people were getting UTIs, all that stuff. But we live in a modern world now. I think we should let men have all of their dicks. I know that it's crazy to say. I had a friend who lived in the UK for a long, a woman, and she lived in the UK for a long time, and she's like, it's obvious that you guys are like missing something important. She goes, because British boys come so hard, and they look like they're really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know.
This feels like the same thing as like talking to my dad about politics, where I say my piece and then I know I just have to listen to your side for a while.
Yeah, I did.
We won't talk about it anymore. I'm so sorry.
Fan topic.
Well, you know, I at least have reason. I won't get into it. It's so.
See, you have reason. I have gut feeling.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm my dad.
You're the dad in this situation.
I'm my dad.
I'm hitting
now.
you with. I've got charts and facts. You know, I'm the liberal son right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you know,
I just know what makes me feel icky. It's what it is.
I don't know. I just don't want to get caught in the zipper.
That's fair.
You ever get your dick caught in a zipper?
Yeah, absolutely. And having look, we don't listen. We have to get off this subject because I don't know how to be funny about it without starting to feel passionate.
Hell yeah.
You know, but yeah, no, getting your dick caught in a zipper sucks.
It's such a funny thing to be passionate. Like that's your like.
It's
thing,
important.
though. When we get, it's not even just dicks. It's the tip of the dicks. We could talk about the base. Dick
It's
bases.
it's the most sensitive bundle of nerves on a male's reproductive system. It's essentially the male clitoris, which we've been robbed of.
Let's move it down the shaft
For sure.
Let's talk about
the balls.
scrotums. Yeah.
I would cut off my balls.
Is there a
What are they doing?
You want to hit falsetto? You want to be a really good singer?
I want to be like a slave boy. I want to be like a bald, castrated slave boy in a palace somewhere.
Would you wear them
Just
around
gossip.
your neck in a pouch?
You would be such a gossipy castrato.
when you
You would be such a mean girl eunuch.
when you don't have nuts? It's all gossip is the only currency you can deal in when you have
God.
no sperm.
A juicy piece. That's how you come. That's just like, oh, she cheated on her husband. Oh, I'm busting.
What do they do with the balls when they cut them off? Like they have to go somewhere, right?
I would keep them and use them as like a slingshot.
Yeah.
And then I have to go like chase after them afterwards. Be like, all right, guys, hold up.
I
I
gotta
gotta get
go
my balls.
back,
I only
yeah.
got one pair of those.
They only.
You just meditate and you do the thing with them.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good
You know, there's a wealthy king somewhere that has like one of those. What do you fucking call those things? Just made out of boys'
A
nuts.
pendulum?
A pendulum.
Yeah.
No, it's not a pendulum. It's a
The
Oh, you hit one
perpetual
side?
motion machine
Yeah.
made out of little boys' balls.
made out of little boys. That's decadence.
the first
honestly.
one of those was probably made from real human testes, and then now they're made of stainless steel. But the originals,
Yeah, that's every toy used to be made out of like discarded boy parts.
yeah.
Rubik's cubes, all that shit, man.
Mighty Beans.
Oh man, I wonder if you I remember Mighty
Those
Beans.
things ruled, dude.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember? I think this was like a regional fad because I've talked about. I'm the only people from Maryland, and I think some of my friends from Philly had them. Did you ever play with Crazy Bones?
That's not real.
It's real. It's so Crazy Bones were these little characters. They had them at McDonald's, and they would be like these little like fucked up mutant characters, and you would like play like dice games. You basically were playing like dice, but they were with like cute little plastic.
I do remember that. I remember that at McDonald's.
Yeah. Dude, and they even had Dragon Ball Z ones. Like they had
Wow.
like a licensing thing with Dragon Ball.
Wow.
Wow.
But it was huge when I was in school, and I've never met anybody outside of like the East Coast who knew what they were.
It sounds so white trash from your description.
It is.
My
We're
school.
playing dice with little mutant bones.
I remember Heelys were the first really
Heelys.
big ones. Those were a big
Tec-Tecs.
fucking deal. Tec-Tecs were okay. The one that blew the fuck up was Diabolos. Did you play with
No.
Diabolos?
Never.
We had a gym section for them. It was like you had two sticks with a rope on it, and then
Oh, yeah.
with the
Chinese
two
yo-yo.
cups. Yeah, the two cups on either side with a
yeah.
little rod.
It's like
in
an
between.
hourglass.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
We call
Yeah, I
those
was-
kendamas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kendamas. Okay,
Yeah.
we call them Diabolos. You know,
Those
Yeah.
things took over my school until a kid tried to stab another one.
with a outer-
It was a kendama, so like the top was like pointy. or
Oh, that's a
whatever.
different thing.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Ours
yeah.
we had a pointy top and then like cups on the sides.
And you try and catch the thing on
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And there was like a hole in the bottom of the ball.
I
So you
get
catch it either in the sides or in the spike.
I think they
And then
realized
someone tried to
yeah.
use it as a weapon.
sure.
I think they realized
That's
like
the move.
there was more autistic kids in these generations, and they hit us with that type of shit.
Yeah.
That was like their first
I remember.
stab.
What was the one? This was like right at the end of my time in high school. There were all these commercials for the fushigi.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Fushigi?
The fushigi,
Fushigi.
dude. I fell for all of these things that were just like, stupid products marketed towards like autistic young boys.
Floam.
Yeah,
Floam for sure.
And Fushigi is like, Mom, I need a
Moon sand.
Fushigi. My mom was like, it's just a shiny ball.
Was the Fushigi, because I watched the commercials for the Fushigi, I'm like, he's just moving his hands. I was like, I don't think the ball is doing anything.
That's true.
That
you
is
can
what it
do that
was?
with any ball.
But they wanted you to pay like $39.99 mail-in rebate or whatever
You
the
can
fuck.
do it with
Like,
any sufficiently clear ball.
I had no, so I was right. I thought maybe the ball had they had like a special viscous property or something. No, all right.
No, I had like I think some kind of metal in the middle to make it look like to like increase the illusion that it wasn't moving. But it's called contact juggling. It's just weirdos have been doing it forever.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. It's basically this thing where you make them spin around in your hand, like
Right.
balls. But
I feel like 2000s toys were like a really good precursor to vaping because they all had cartridges.
Yes.
Do you remember that? You always stuck a cartridge in something else to like change the color, or like music was all in cartridges.
Yes.
It was. You had music cartridges. Frogger, or not Frog, Leapfrog.
Leapfrog.
Leapfrog, the little frog pad.
Yeah.
Was that called Leapfrog?
I think so. Yeah. No, I think it was called Leapfrog.
And you stuck a thing in it, and you learned how to read.
Oh, yeah.
People like vapes because it's one of the last tactile things you can like play with.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what like we're recalling. Everything's on a screen now.
Yeah. And now
you're right.
I just have a chew toy and a fidget spinner. It sucks.
I'm like, this is a toy, dude. That's a video now. That's what that is.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I deeply, Zach and I talk about this every car. Right? Like we're both like, we're so nostalgia pilled. Like it's pathetic, dude. I'm like, we need to return so bad, dude. Where the fuck is Blockbuster Video?
What about stacks?
Yeah.
You remember chocolate potato chips?
Yes.
Potato chips made out of chocolate came in a can, and then they had the little bead yogurt bowls. Snacks are stupid now.
What about like
Snack
men and
sucking.
women? You know, just kidding. Just the one guy who can't have fun.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's right. It is a good point, Ben.
What about like a functioning democracy? Wasn't that?
No, we never had that, dude.
No.
I do, man. I miss the like my girlfriend. Like, well, I rope her into it. She watches it because I dominate the TV in our house. But I'll put on these like 54-minute YouTube videos about like mid 2000s aesthetics. Like they have made up terms for like they call it like Frutiger Arrow or some shit. Do you know what this is?
No.
Basically, like the aesthetic of like all the ads in like the mid 2000s, they depicted this like sunny like chrome utopia. It was like the promise of the future that never came to pass, and it's called Frutiger Arrow apparently. And I just
Whoa.
I love that shit, dude. Frutiger Arrow, like think about like you know how like everything looked like an iMac for a while, like
Yes.
that's Frutiger Arrow
Okay.
aesthetic. We don't have that anymore.
Cool.
Now what's the aesthetic? It's just like
The aesthetic now is minimalism.
Okay.
Our society's obsessed with every fast food restaurant is exactly the same. It's nobody makes design choices anymore.
dude, I like that. That's such a niche thing to be upset to walk into a McDonald's and be mad about the interior design.
It's oppressive, man. This is like you have to. The architecture should like uplift you mentally. It
I've
shouldn't
thought
be
the
like
same thing though. Like
Yeah.
I don't know why that's like when you walk into restaurants and it's just like stark chairs and like I don't know.
because it's low risk.
Yeah.
it's making a
And-
design choice is a risk.
And having upholstered interiors is like it's gonna just catch smells.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but you know what, man? Smells are that's
yeah.
history, right?
You
there,
used to
man.
walk into a place and you would smell everyone who's been in there
Yeah,
for the
you
last
used to.
10 years.
Everything used to be covered in a thin veneer of shit and piss, and you knew that you were part of a country. You know,
It's also crazy when people used to smoke everywhere that like the whole world smelled like cigarettes for
I liked
It
the
would have been
smell.
beautiful, dude.
It was nice,
I liked it too.
Yeah.
I liked going into restaurants and knowing that I sat in what used to be the smoking section.
Yeah.
Like it felt good. I was like,
Well,
you
do
know,
you guys
somebody
remember?
felt their freedom in
I
here.
still remember going to restaurants with my mom as a little kid and her asking to sit in the non-smoking section.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have memories of that too. Yeah.
It wasn't a lot, but it happened.
Like I have a lot of memories of that, but then thinking about it now, it's like, oh yeah, that was like it's gonna be crazy too when like we're getting very close to the point where everyone's gonna have been born in like 2000 and after.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be ancient.
You'll say that to a kid, and it'll be like saying that like you went to like you got like a phosphate,
Yeah.
like from a soda jerk or something.
Right. It'd be like
I remember smoking inside and slaves.
yeah.
Is that close? Yeah.
I was born in 1997. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
had
we're
dysentery.
That will be something very like I'm like if the hopefully cancer will be that soon. We're like it's crazy how like I'm watching this documentary right now about this musician Ryuichi Sakamoto. It's like they started filming him right after he like his cancer. He got diagnosed with cancer and then it came back. And I'm like cancer. Like how many documentaries are there about people dying of cancer? Will this ever not be a problem? You know what I mean? It'll be like such a relic of this time. I hope. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If we cure cancer, do you think that do you believe in the conspiracy that somebody's already cured it and then they got killed by like BlackRock?
I mean, I wouldn't. That isn't crazy. That doesn't sound crazy.
When you
to
look
me.
at like the big pharma and the amount of money people are making off of,
yeah.
that it really, as long as there's a sufficient motive and you know that there's these really powerful rich people who's really just want money. Then it honestly, it's not that crazy to think that they would murder somebody who found a cure
because it's so profitable. Yeah, no, of course. That's like I feel like it's the biggest. That's what everybody. But also, I don't know. They're going to reach a point where like nobody can afford healthcare, and we all have cancer, and that wouldn't be like a dying populace isn't good for. But maybe they don't care because they're probably going to get on the ships
AI
to go somewhere.
They're not going to need to pop. You know, not going to
right. They'll just they'll have. Well, that doesn't. I don't know if that makes sense, but. What do you mean? You can't just say AI.
Well, it's like, what do you need the populace for?
Well, but what will AI be doing?
Working.
Right, but will they be
Making
consuming?
That's true.
That's my point. He's like, you need a populace of consumers to generate wealth.
So we're just gonna be. That's kind of cool. What's everyone scared about? Let's just become consumers.
We are. We already are. I had to buy these microphones.
Yeah, but you don't have to work. Is
Yeah.
what he's saying. If we could just not have a job and like eat nothing but toaster strudels,
Yeah.
that would be so good.
Here's my hot take. I do think work is good for you. I think work is like kind of an important.
Would
part
you
of
say that
life.
work sets you free?
A little bit. I mean, not too much work. You have to
You
have
heard
the
it
right
here,
amount of
folks.
work, man.
No.
Work is a delicate balance.
No, I agree.
I think there are kinds of work that is good for you. I think there are things that, like, if you put the process of putting your mind and effort into something to create a finished product is like meaningful.
Yes.
And also learning things like discipline and structure and things like that. There are jobs that exist that are not good for your brain, body, or just like social life. It doesn't like teach you anything.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of positions that are necessary ish in like maintaining function for a consumerist thing that are just like generally just kind of bad for you on a personal and subjective level.
I totally agree, but I let me put this to you. I actually think that the main benefit or like pleasure that people get from work is this is why old people go back to work after they retire is feeling a sense of usefulness within your community.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's important.
I think that's super important. I think the kind of work that's I think what's unnatural or like what we're not built for is giving so much of your time and to working at something that you personally are so disconnected from.
I agree,
so like the idea of like somebody working 10 hours a day at a Amazon factory like warehouse or something where you're just, it has nothing to do with you and you don't like, but anything that you're taking pride in, like if you can take pride in your work, that's what
I would love to be like a cobbler.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what
if
Daniel
I could
Day-Lewis did.
Make a boot.
Yeah.
I'd be
dude.
so happy.
Daniel Day-Lewis was
And
like,
also
I'm tired
you
of
get
being
to-
gay and playing dress up. I want to go make some shoes.
and you get to smell all the shoes.
Yeah.
You know,
And
that
see
is
all the
kind of
feet.
nice. You get to see the feet. You get to, I'm in this for the shoe business. Yeah, right, buddy. No, I would like to, you can tell the Amazon workers do not take pride in their work, man. I get heated when I watch them toss packages over my fence.
Yeah.
They deserve less money, honestly.
Well, I don't know. I think that they like. I
No,
think
they
that
just
kind of.
I wish they could be whipped. I would like to see them, toss.
That's
like
the kind of job that radicalizes you.
Really?
I think that
Yeah.
whatever you are when you start that kind of job, after a year or two of it, you're just gonna be. If you were a nothing, you're gonna become like a radical catatonic nothing. But if you have a little bit of a spark, you're either gonna become like. You're gonna become part of the problem at some. I don't know. You're
Yeah,
either going to go join ISIS or Antifa or something.
I think it mostly just radicalizes them to play their music too loud and park in front of fire hydrants. Take 2-hour lunch breaks, but yeah, that's fine.
That is true. But it's also, you think about it, now with like podcasts and shit like that, the difference now is that you got dudes working factories or all these other jobs that you can be like educating yourself and like learning about like some guy, before the guy twisting on the caps of the toothpaste can be listening to like Dostoevsky audiobooks.
Dude, this is how I know that I'm fucked, because like if that's how they're beating me, like if that's what they're doing, and I'm also doing that, but I'm watching the 8-hour history of Cartoon Network on YouTube. I'm like, I'm so fucked, dude. Yeah. I should be learning how to fix my car.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I like hearing about your guys' like internet holes that you go down.
Oh yeah, you like my internet holes?
I like your internet holes.
Spread them open.
I want to kiss your internet hole.
They're moist.
But no, because I need better ones than the ones I do. Because it's
me and Noah were talking about. He was talking about how like we send each other like certain meme. Like but I think we've developed a certain flavor of like meme lore or whatever. And then like we were talking about like he's sending ones to you, like I don't know, the ones me and Noah always send each other is like just people that make you uncomfortable. Just uncomfortable, gross people being serious about, just people with like getting 60 likes per post. That is like,
I follow a lady who's being gang stalked right now. And my favorite Instagram is Gang Pissers. It's everybody goes into public restrooms and they piss in a big circle around the whole bathroom.
Oh my God.
It's people from all walks of life in every city in the world, every major city. It's somebody goes into a public restroom, they take their dick out and they just pee in a circle. And they get it in the sink, they get it on the toilet paper, and they're always playing like Kids by MGMT or something in the background.
Show yourself.
And there's that, and then also the other night I like ended up on like a paranormal 4chan board and like read a big a forum on how you're supposed to eat a lot of bread and drink black tea in order to have good relationships with ghosts, because you're just constantly inviting them in. Then
he's been eating a lot of bread, and drinking a lot of tea.
It's all I eat.
Yeah.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
That's that's okay. You gotta send some of this stuff. Ben sends me stuff, and they're all funny.
There's a guy who is like this, like really kind of old tan gay guy who just dances in front of Instagram, and like me and Noah would send each other clips of his.
Gregory Tolson.
Yeah. But then he followed both of us.
He would just he'd DM us.
And he started DMing us like specific,
like just hearts and stuff. He would just send us hearts every once in a while.
Crazy.
Yeah, he ended up on your mom's house. One of his clips.
Yeah.
Did.
Oh whoa,
but
dude.
I was in it early.
Yeah.
I've been a fan for a long time.
There was a chick who I followed on YouTube, and then she went up on Tosh.0 because she's like a schizophrenic lady who thinks she's being gang stalked. But then like she was crazy in a way that was like somewhat funny. It was on Tosh.0, kind of wholesome. But then like after she was on Tosh.0, she started doing videos in like full blackface saying the N-word, talking about like her.
She really came into her own.
She really did, yeah. Talking about how like people were like watching her and the garbage bin stole her credit card. It was.
She became undeniable.
I feel so much better since I got on medication. since I stopped thinking all those crazy things, and now I can just do blackface.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I really like one of my favorite genres of internet videos is like crackheads coming up to people's windows.
Oh yes, dude.
Like if somebody moves into what used to be the spot, like a crack house, or even just like those dudes flirting with like. Did I send you the one of the guy who shoves his head in the window?
Yeah. That was great.
I love shit like that.
There used to be a whole subgenre. So a lot of these videos have been like deleted. I used to watch like drug freak out compilations.
Sure. Yeah. Like you drink that somebody smokes salvia and tries to jump through the window, that kind of thing.
I've been there.
Yes, that's my dude. I love that video.
Salvia is crazy.
It's great, dude.
There was one where a guy was so fucked up and he's laying in somebody's front yard, and then you see a stream of piss like shoot up from his. There's another one where this lady's on the back of a bus and she's bragging about how she fucks the bus driver. And she's like, hey, bus driver, don't we do the nasty? You can tell him. It's so, dude, they're my favorite videos.
Have you seen the video of the guy who smokes salvia and tries to garden?
Yes, I
he just
have.
lays down. He just lays down for the whole video.
Dude, my favorite.
It's either that or like CCTV of like a coyote stealing a Filipino child and the mom like beating the shit out of the coyote.
My favorite thing in those videos is they always insist that milk will fix it. Like the mantra is he needs some milk. Dude.
That boy needs some milk.
I was watching one where this person was like fucked up on something in the middle of a highway, and she like grabbed onto the back of like the back windshield wipers of a car, and the person driving was like, she's fucked up, man. She's off that flacca. And then the car she's hanging on to speeds off.
Oh my god.
Oh, I've seen that one too.
And you just hear the person filming start screaming no.
Dude, I
Have you seen that Happy Gilmore when that lady is like, Mister, get me out of here?
It's like that.
And then the air conditioner falls on her. It's a great movie.
I saw this video. It was like out of Oklahoma or whatever, and it's like these 4 black teenagers in an SUV, and they're driving across a stretch of highway, and you see them. They slow down and just lay on the horn. And out of the darkness, this naked homeless guy starts running out of the car, and they just speed up and they do a lap, and he just chases their car in laps on the freeway.
So like they know where he resides. They're trying to like.
One of my
They just bait him out.
That's like something out of like Middle Earth, dude. Like that feels like an ancient interaction happening in the modern day.
Yeah,
you know
they're
what
like
I mean?
they're like on the 25th night of the month, you must keep your doors locked. Don't listen to anything they say. They'll mimic the voices of the ones you love. Dude, I saw one of a guy. This is one of my favorites. Is like when schizophrenic people can like partially act not crazy just enough to manipulate somebody into their like. There's one of a guy. The guy filming it is obviously like the security guard in front of some like hotel or something, and you can just context clues. You can tell the guy who's this crazy guy talking to him has been a problem for a while. Like they've gotten into it, and you see the guy like run up to him and then stop, and then he goes like, "Hey man, like I'm sorry about all that. Like I got schizophrenia. Like and then he's like acting all cool to the guy, and then you see the guy be like, "Oh no, like it's okay, cool. Like we're cool, man." And you think it's gonna be kind of like a wholesome video, and then the guy spends like 10 minutes acting pretty normal, acting like he's like come to his senses, and then he gets like close to the guy and just like hauls off and punches him, and he's like, "Yeah, you motherfucker!" Like,
dude, it's almost probably gonna feel like you're like suppressing Tourette's, where he's like, if I can just I'll get to punch this guy, I'll feel so good.
Yeah,
my brain will light up.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about I used to watch these videos with my friend Robert, but when I lived in LA, my friend Robert Benfer and I would like fall asleep like a married couple just watching like drug freakouts on YouTube. And we would always make us laugh when you see somebody who's freaking out on drugs, who's in like a well coordinated outfit, like they're dressed nice, because that means that they didn't think this was going to happen. They thought they were going to be able to take a drug and just like be chill about it, and now they're on the freeway, like screaming.
Yeah, that new homeless.
Well, homeless as of like 30 minutes ago, honestly.
Sometimes that always when you can recognize somebody's new homeless, it's like when somebody's got like matching shoes on, and you're like, dude, you haven't been out here that long.
Or like new crazy, maybe they still like, but it's just like their beard is only like a week in.
Yeah,
it's like you lost your house a week ago.
Yeah,
and
you think you're gonna get it back, but it's the road ahead is long and winding. Yeah, man.
Wait, Robert Benford, the Clay World guy, or
yes, Robert.
Dude, that's insane, dude. That's blowing my mind, dude.
Robert Benford. I mean, I think he might listen to this show, but Robert Benford and I used to just
shout out Robert, dude. I grew up on those videos.
You did?
Yeah, dude. Like everyone my age, like those are huge.
I did too. That's why it's surprising. But he's gonna come to Chicago at some point. I want to have him on, but we can talk about this.
Dude.
I'll have to tell you about I don't know if I should tell this story, but he has like a cursed penis. Like everyone that I should let him tell this, but basically like the past 6 people that he slept with have died, like mysterious, like in like accidents, like
it's like Death Note, but it's death cock.
It's like death cock, dude.
Dude, I would feel so powerful. Oh my god.
Yeah. We'll talk about this more on the way home, Zach.
For sure, dude.
Oh man, I forget what I was gonna say. But anyway, yeah, there was a whole subgenre, and we'll get off this video a bit. Ben, there was a whole subgenre of video that I used to love on Twitter that was just naked people breaking through the glass windows at Wendy's. There's many of these videos, and they're all like alarming. People will put like soundtrack, or people will put like sounds from like The Last of Us in them and stuff. But it's crazy. That's a bad day.
It's crazy
man.
to me because I think these kind of videos make me think about. It's something I think about a lot, especially on the internet. Is like we think about. I feel like everybody kind of walks around with a certain idea of humans in their head, but you can only really form your idea of what we are as a species based off of like a certain amount of input. But if you could only pick like 50 videos to like create your concept of what a human being is, and you just picked like naked people busting through windows, or like a video of that guy like wrestling a crocodile and getting like you could put 50 videos together and send them to like an extraterrestrial, and they'd be like, holy fuck, we're not going to that planet. Like human beings are a really crazy. This is what actually got me thinking about this. Was I was watching a video last night about the 10 uncontacted tribes that are left.
Oh yeah,
and that's a good example. If you want to look at what you are like as an animal, a human being, look at the humans that are left that are like removed from culture, because like culture and language and like all this stuff is a tool like a gun or like a fork or anything else. But if you just take all the tools away, including culture and all that, and you have, not that they don't have culture, but they have like an isolated culture. So there's like 10 uncontacted tribes in the world left. There's the one that half of them are eating each other.
Yeah, and there's that one that kills. They kill anybody who tries to come to the island.
Yeah, I guess the North Sentinel Island.
Yeah. Except somebody was able to he brought like coconuts or something,
and they still killed him.
But he hung out a little longer than the other. Yeah,
and then they were just like, all right, we got the coconuts were all right, but like peace out.
Bring it. That sounds like a joke. I'll give them a coke, and then it works. Could you imagine? I would feel racist, honestly. I would be like, I can't believe the coconut thing worked.
But it's like we freak out about the. Have you heard about the chimpanzee war? Like
no.
There's a war. We basically like witnessed and scientifically documented a war between chimpanzees, and it was like really fucked up. And we kind of saw that they can be like super brutal with each other. But humans are so much. We're like the fact that there's like 10 uncontacted tribes and half of them are cannibals. I think that means humans are like. If you were just studying the species based off of that, you'd be like, all right, well, half of them are cannibals.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we, I think, have like forgotten that we're that, because it's like, yeah, I don't know.
We should get back in touch with that, dude.
Well, I don't know if I think we should just recognize that we're kind of psychopathic.
No, I want to
default.
I want to get on
So the default thing. So it's interesting because there was like a whole experiment by nuns where they didn't talk to children after they were born.
I thought you were going to say an experiment by Nazis. I got excited.
No. Those ones I keep for me. No, but they didn't talk to children for like a year after they were born because they thought it was going to give them like access to divine language. They thought it would like make it so they could speak whatever language God spoke. And
it's worse than cannibalism, doing that to kids.
This is such a bad idea.
Right? Well, apparently all they did was rock back and forth, shit themselves, and cry. So without interference, that's who we are on the inside.
Yeah.
If nothing else comes in, we just shit ourselves.
Well, it's like we are social.
I wonder if we leave this baby alone and don't nurture it at all at the most vital point in its development, I wonder how that'll go.
Yeah.
That's how you make Homelander.
That's so fun. I mean,
Well, one of the tribes that I thought this was really interesting. The way that this is their culture that they've created is that you don't get a name when you're born. You don't have a name, and the way you get your name is you have to go hunt for a name. And what that means is you go kill somebody, and then now you have their name.
How the fuck did they get their name?
Because either they killed somebody and took their name.
But at some point, how did the first people get their names? They were naming people. They're like, this is not a good system. Actually, what we should do.
I'm just saying, like that's what they thought of. Like if we had to just start over, if we just lost everything that we had already like created through culture and we had to start over, that's the kind of shit we would think of.
For sure.
It's
I'm
like, I
just
have to go
so-
kill somebody and take their name,
But
and then
I-
scoop their brain out of their skull.
This is truly a chicken egg situation. I have to know how the fuck the first people got their names then.
So apparently they can either be named somebody in their tribe who has died already, and then they have a back stock of names. Like we can check the back for some names.
but still, the first people, where did they get the names from?
So they didn't have names, and then they killed somebody, and then they were like,
no.
I'm gonna take
But
his-
but how did he have a name if nobody had names?
well, they can take a name from somebody not in the tribe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they asked, so like before. By the way, what's your name? Before I fucking skin you alive, what are you called? Because that's about to be my shit, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it seems like a lot of.
They
go
are.
through for
Well,
a
they
name.
are. They are crazy backwards people. I
Yeah.
agree.
But we're
I mean,
the same.
yeah. I'm glad we're not like that though. I'm glad that we like.
But we are like that, is what I'm saying. That's my point.
But maybe this is. But listen, maybe we're making a great argument for organized religion here. You know, but maybe that is the intervention.
That
of,
was the anti-cannibalism, like prototype.
Yeah.
Was religion.
Was like stop.
We got to create a myth that makes this scary.
If something even worse, if you don't stop this, something even worse than being
Yeah.
eaten alive will happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that's and that leads me to be like, all right, maybe religion's good, honestly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's but I also I don't know. I feel like we have maybe that is what we are, but also we certainly have like capacity for affection.
Oh, yeah.
that I think that many animals don't.
No, that's the
I mean,
same
maybe we
thing.
don't
On
know.
the same token, if you could only like send 50 video clips to an alien species, like you could also
That's why we didn't put those on that golden record that
Right,
we
yeah.
put like the
we
Beatles.
left that off. Yeah. But like there's also you can watch 50 videos of humans and feel super optimistic or super pessimistic, like just based on what they are.
Sure,
Like
definitely.
there's horrible people, and there's also it is crazy that we cooperate to the degree that we do.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you heard about like the idea of proactive violence and reactive violence?
No,
That's
educate
basically
me.
what makes us a terrifying species, is that every other species in nature is usually either low in both reactive and proactive violence or high in both. So if you look at like chimpanzees, they're high in reactive violence and proactive violence. Reactive violence is like if I grab a piece of fruit out of your hand and now we're fighting. That's like reactive violence. Proactive violence is like we get together and we're like, we're going to go plan this and we're going to go fuck these guys and kill them and take their territory. So humans are really low in reactive violence. So within our own communities, like we're super cooperative, conflict avoidant, peaceful. But then we're like, our tax dollars are going to like drone strikes in another
Right.
country. That's proactive. So we're super low in reactive violence and super high in proactive
like
violence.
they have oil over there. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So we're fully like our capacity for evil is just concentrated on like the other, but
Yeah.
not on. And that's
Man, it's a pleasure to listen to you talk. Honestly, it is. You should be like I'm not shitting you. This is enjoyable. You should be like a substitute teacher, but like it's just an after school. It's not like there's no subject. It's just we're gonna go listen to Mr. Levy tell us about.
Finn's in a tweed jacket with a snake around his shoulder.
mustard stains. The teacher comes back
Yeah.
next week. They're like, "How was it?" They're like, "Well, I think he was on drugs, but he said a lot of really interesting shit."
We learned about sneaker males.
Sneaker
and
males and
why I
super
can't
normal
trust
stimuli.
guys with sweater sleeves that go over their hands.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
he made us watch an RFK video. No, but
that is fuck. I mean, that's crazy though. I didn't real. I guess that does make sense. Proactive versus reactive violence. Animals are all reactive.
I also have a theory that we're like, you know how people think about humans as like weak, like compared to animals.
Mm-hmm.
People be like, chimps are 5 times as strong as like we're like we would get fucked up by any animal. There's this general kind of thought about it, which
Right.
it's based in good. It is true that we are, but I don't think that I think it's a hormonal thing, because I think that biologically we're still, the amount of time it's been since we've removed ourselves from natural selection
Right.
is actually not, evolutionary speaking, long enough for our bodies to have become that weak.
Ben, is the end of this in a vacuum? You could beat up a gorilla.
In a vacuum. No, but
It's all mental, dude. Once you get past the barrier, it's just fists hitting fur. That's all it is.
No, but I think it's
so awesome.
Well, something
dude.
we know, something that they think about Neanderthals is that they had an androgenic condition. That's basically hormonally, like they were basically like dudes on way too much tren. All Neanderthals and Neanderthal women. So like we know they were super strong and their bones were super thick, but we know that they had like crazy amounts of like adrenaline and testosterone running through their bodies for a long time, and those things affect your body. So I think that our bodies are still like crazy strong savages, but we just don't have the same hormones running through them.
Do you think you really think it's all just like a hormonal thing?
Well, I think at least partially. I think that there's a version where human beings like revert back to like I don't know, because Neanderthals I think it's really interesting that they had a hormonal condition.
Ben is my favorite kind of guy, dude. Where it's like you're sitting you have roommates, you're sitting in your room full of snakes, just working on theories, just working on like theories about human evolution. I mean, here's the thing: I have no rebuttal for it. It's smarter than anything I could come up with.
Because think about this, right? If human beings are capable of interbreeding with Neanderthals, we know we have their genetics in us because any two species that are close enough that they can reproduce and create fertile offspring.
Definitely.
Not just like a liger that can't reproduce again, but like if you can create offspring that are still fertile, you're basically the same species. And we know how strong Neanderthals were. We're basically the same as that.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense that we would be like that different. I think that it's just like as an adaptation to what I was talking about with like the low reactive violence and having these cooperative societies, it became adaptive to have way less of those like hormones and like testosterone running through our bodies all the time.
Do you feel mad that we've been like robbed of those hormones, or like?
No, I think it would be a scary world if we were still all.
Okay, yeah.
And then if you think about those like uncontacted tribes or whatever, like they might still have
some of those like.
Yeah, because you have to
Neanderthal.
compete with wild animals, and you have like
it's true.
jaguars and saber-toothed cats trying to eat you. It makes sense for you to also be, But when you're a substitute teacher or whatever, or an Amazon factory employee, you don't need all of that.
Yeah.
But I just think it's like we underestimate ourselves in some ways as like biological beings.
Interesting. Yeah. I guess I have been I don't know that because I always figured that we make up for that by like using tools, right? That's the whole thing. Is like,
but Neanderthals used tools. Like they had spears.
And they were also jacked.
They were jacked. And you know what's crazy about Neanderthals?
Yeah, but they didn't. Wait. They didn't use tools. Like, dude, we have way fucking better tools than Neanderthals, dude.
We know because you have an outdated idea of Neanderthals.
Well, forgive me, dude. I'm so sorry.
I do forgive you because we've only known about them for like 20 years. It's like a really new.
I had no idea I had a fucking outdated view of Neanderthals. I feel racist again, dude. I cannot fucking believe I've been walking around spreading harmful stereotypes about Neanderthals.
Well, everything we know about this is my.
They had cell phones, I guess, right?
No, but they created jewelry. They had fire. They had language. They probably created art.
I assume I assumed they had all that stuff.
Okay. Well, they were basically they stayed in like small. What's crazy about Neanderthals is they fought close range. So you know how humans were like throwing spears and like creating bows and arrows and everything? Neanderthals never got into that. They were like melee only. So they created spears and they would hunt Ice Age megafauna like woolly mammoths, woolly rhinos, hand to hand. Like they'd have a rhino coming at them and just a spear. And we know this.
I respect that.
We know this because when you look at their bodies, and most Neanderthals have like healed bone fractures and a certain pattern of injuries that we only see in modern day like rodeo bull riders.
Explain to me how you ended up here with a Budweiser T-shirt and all, and like you have the soul of like somebody in a lab coat, man. What went wrong, man?
YouTube is a beautiful thing.
I am. It confirms I'm using YouTube wrong.
Yeah,
you have such a wealth of knowledge.
That's what I'm saying. Is like you guys are learning stuff. I want to learn stuff on like aesthetics. Like aesthetic, like those ideas, video essays. That's all good stuff.
My YouTube algorithm is on a lot of estrogen compared to fans.
Dude, Neanderthal women could bench press 315. Just saying.
Ben, if you saw a Neanderthal woman, I know that you would make her your bride immediately, dude.
I do like a strong woman.
This is clearly.
I like a woman who could jump on the back of a woolly rhino.
Definitely. I salute to them for just like gripping onto a rhino and taking it apart piece by piece.
Do you know what I think? Why I'm so interested in this kind of thing?
I would love to know why.
Is because I think the thing that's like, it's like this fascination that is like, you learn about shit all the time, and it's really easy to just be like, oh yeah, history. These things all happen. But when you think about like these things really existed, like there is, even though it's impossible for us to see and experience like another species of human, like Neanderthals or the hobbits, like the little people or whatever, those people really existed. Not only did they exist, but for hundreds of thousands of years. So human civilization has existed for like arguably 5,000, 8,000 years.
Right, yeah.
But for hundreds of thousands of years, there was multiple species of human beings on the planet. There was like different, it was like a Middle Earth, literally.
Right, yeah.
And so it's like, fuck, well, what did they look like? Like what did a Neanderthal actually look like? Because they looked like something, you know?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what would it be like to be around one?
We don't actually know.
And then I think about that for all the prehistoric animals, like fucking short-faced bears. Do you know about those?
No, I'm sure that you'll tell me.
You guys can veer me off of this because I'm not going to get off this train on my own.
Ben, we know, and actually, listen, it's genuinely interesting to learn this stuff. I'm just struggling to have any. I mean, like it is. I don't want to discourage you from talking like this.
As my mother would say, I'm dominating the conversation.
Well, no, but you're saying interesting stuff. You're not saying stuff that's not like cool. I wish that was my area of special interest, because I relate to what you're saying of like, you know, there's this stuff that we weren't alive for that existed that we didn't, but I feel that way about like laser discs, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're talking about like woolly mammoths and fucking saber-tooth whatevers.
Giant ground sloths.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary to me.
Yeah. And humans the reason they think humans didn't come to North America for so long is because we didn't want to cross the Bering Strait, because there were these monsters called the short-faced bear. It was like a 16-foot tall grizzly bear with like long legs.
Whoa, dude.
And there was like human beings, the same like Homo sapiens, that were just
Right.
like, yeah, we can't go over there. It's like in Skyrim when there's that troll.
I've never had somebody gesture to me and themselves and be like, you know, Homo sapiens. Yeah, no, that's fuck yeah. I'm gonna need you to like, I'm gonna need you to like record a podcast like by yourself just for me to like debrief me on like all of human history, because I could this knowledge is obviously important, and I haven't acquired it in my.
There's great YouTube for anyone listening. Stephen Milo, check him out on YouTube.
I'll literally
he has like
check him
tons
out.
of super interesting. He hates Graham Hancock. You know, the Joe Rogan guy.
No, I don't know him.
The
But
Atlantis. He's the guy who's talking about like there was like a lost ancient civilization.
I watched his Hulu series where I mean there's evidence of like something like 17,000-year-old.
Yeah, but he's like wrong.
Civilization.
He's wrong about all
He
this
seems
shit.
so smart,
like,
and he's so
fuck him,
well
he's full of
dressed,
shit, dude.
Well, I like, it's easy to buy into. You watch his thing and there's nobody there disagreeing with him.
Yeah.
But like this guy Stephen Milo, who I like, it did a video debunking Graham, and as soon as you hear, there's like so many facts that are right there that just completely debunk the whole. Because he's like, yeah, we would know. There would be like there would be DNA evidence. There would be like archaeological. Like we have nothing of. I don't know.
this is, if I were to listen to two people with more than two sources debate the existence of Atlantis, like pro versus con, I would have to be like, I think they're both right.
Yeah.
I like them both, man.
I think that's my problem too, and this isn't just with science. It's like politics too, or anything. Just for like metaphorically speaking, if there's like a campaign video for one candidate, and they're like, this person like sucks and hates babies and women, and I'm great or whatever, and they say all their shit, I'd be like, yeah, dude, you rock. That person sucks. And then the next commercial was their opponents, and they were like, yeah, that guy, he's a liar, and he actually like, you know, hates Jews, and then I'm the right guy, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, he does suck. You are right. So everything that I watch, I'm convinced of. So I'm constantly changing my opinion.
That was my problem with the last election, is like I was like, after like months of the lead up to it, I was like I love Trump, Kamala, and Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I was like,
I love all
I think they should all be friends. Let them all run the White House together.
They all obviously really care about what they're talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, I love her. I love him. I wish they wouldn't fight. You know, that would be a nice country if you just have Donald Trump and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Yeah, I do. I relate to that.
That's why I do. The one AI thing that I like is I like those videos of the AI presidents. Have you guys watched these?
No.
Oh, dude, they're so good. It's just they have AI generated voices of Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and Barack Obama playing Call of Duty. It's so cozy. It's so nice. I just settle. There's hours of these videos.
Nice.
It's so awesome.
Dude, I saw an AI generated picture of Kamala Harris and Mike Tyson crying together the other day. That was pretty good. Did you guys watch that fight?
It was brutal.
It was so fucked up. That made me so upset, dude, that anybody was okay with that happening.
Well, I think Tyson made 20 mil. So
so he's only $4 million in debt now. But
no, that's right.
Yeah, dude. It's such a, I guess good for him, but also maybe just give it to him. You know, don't humiliate.
Hey, I need $20 million.
I'm
I'm gonna fight somebody.
It's a sociopathic. The Pauls are sociopaths, and this was obviously just for him to put another notch in his reputation.
Yeah.
Well, diagnosed Logan. They showed he had a traumatic brain injury that destroyed his prefrontal cortex. He has zero capacity for empathy because
Logan Paul.
Well, did you see at the end?
Of course.
Did you see at the end of that when they're it's supposed to be the cathartic, everyone's being a good sportsman or whatever, and Mike Tyson was joking I don't know, maybe I'll fight the other brother next or whatever, and then Logan was like, Mike, I would fucking kill you. It was holy shit, dude. What a fucking psychopath.
Dude, he's I wish that guy was dead, man. I have friends,
Logan?
Yeah.
We should hang him in the suicide forest.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a Logan Paul video where he tases a dead mouse on his balcony, and it is hilarious.
Yeah,
that is God.
That's how you
dude.
get Noah in your subscriber pool.
I had
he
friends
shoots a dead mouse with a taser. That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
I had friends in LA who worked for him for a time. They were part of production on his videos, and they were like, here's the thing, man. He's making a lot of money and he's nice to his crew. I'm like, he's going to hell. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? I don't give a shit.
If you're nice to he's better than Ellen.
Sure.
I guess. It's a hard thing to quantify.
Ellen's probably tasing dead mice. She just doesn't film it. You know what I mean? Ellen is basically Logan Paul with a better PR team.
I think Logan Paul is uniquely evil. I do because it's the obsession just with acquisition, and that is that guy's.
You think that's
sin.
unique to Logan Paul?
Well, it's he is emblematic of that. For his generation, he's inspired a lot of other people to be like that.
He's internet Hitler.
And also, aren't his he's got those he's got the Lunchleys, right? Mm-hmm. And they're full of lead. He's just letting kids eat lead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have their prime drinks or whatever.
It's all fucking killing and it's the dude is because there are these, I don't know. I think what sickens me about this new type of influencer billionaire YouTube, whatever you call him, he's just a titan of culture now, is it's all just in service of their own reputation and their own image. It's not even he had an idea. It's not he was oh, I miss Lunchables, I want to make, and it got corrupted. It was such a cynical thing.
Yeah. Well, at least they're somewhat upfront about it, because 3 years ago, it was heavily politicized shit, Sneeko and Andrew Tate and that kind of specifically political ideology. At least Logan Paul is just a guy who showed up,
just a guy laughing at dead people.
Yeah.
I can get behind. that.
He does love Trump also. I think he's endorsed.
Yeah, both of them have, but that's not why people watch them.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So the reason somebody like Andrew Tate got popular, and Jordan Peterson in a different way, was they had an ideology that was being spread and people identified with it. And those are guys who hit the same kind of internet fandom super hard. It was for a different demographic. Some
sure.
of them. But honestly, I feel like there's like a ton of overlap between the Logan Paul fandom and the
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate. I mean, it's 13-year-olds.
Yeah, it's kid. That's what scares
children.
me. Is like children are the ones watching this shit, and it's like this is just this is like a virus, dude. This is turning people into like fucking monsters.
Yeah.
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 Well, it's also, I think, generations of like kind of emasculated men, and then it's like now they're gonna follow other boys. It's like a feedback loop of boydom.
Fair. I mean, true. Yeah. I there probably is something to that.
Yeah, but I think that it's like with you have to. What I will give Jake Paul, I fucking hate Logan. And Jake,
give Jake his flowers.
I dislike Jake, but I can respect that. Me disliking him is actually what makes his whole thing a pretty genius business strategy. The reason that all of these fights, we all watch the Mike Tyson Logan or Jake Paul fight. We all like every time he's fought, I've wanted to watch because this is what he realized, or somebody in his team realizes, that people are watching these because they want to see you get knocked out. People hate you so much that they will pay for a fight with the hopes that they're going to see your whole thing and you get knocked out.
I disagree. I didn't think there was a chance Tyson was going to beat Jake Paul. I watched.
You did? Because Tyson's team did a good job at like putting out short enough promo videos that you just see him hitting mitts and stuff. And
I did not expect him to look that fucking bad.
In the videos, he does like 2 jumping jacks and is like winded.
Yeah, well, he's 60 years old.
Like he's gonna die in the ring, dude.
He fought Roy Jones Jr. not super long ago, and Roy Jones was also like a great boxer, and he looked way better. Like Mike Tyson in the Roy Jones fight versus Jake Paul, different guys.
That was also like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
and that's a lot of time for like.
Right, but it's like when you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, obviously this is what it.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't think. I watched clips out of like perverse curiosity of like, my God, Mike Tyson is so old. What is he doing?
Yeah,
I didn't think it was going to be like even close. And honestly, I think Jake Paul kind of like went easy on him.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he decided not to knock him out like at the end.
It's an evil thing to do to him. I don't care how much money you're paying him.
Right.
It's like this is sickening.
Yeah,
You know?
I think
he
Logan
humiliated him.
Yeah.
He humiliated an old man.
And it's like, and what's
what
crazy,
happened.
it's like it's not like Mike Tyson's a great guy either.
No.
But he is of more, in my opinion, like there's something more substantial about his character than Jake Paul even. And this is a convicted rapist, you know?
Yeah,
You know what?
But I think with Mike Tyson, it's because he doesn't seem like that's just in him. Like everybody knows what you're signing up for face to face with him. Mm-hmm. There's something with Jake Paul that is so much more conniving. And is making moves behind closed doors. Do you know what I mean? When that's what gives Mike Tyson in this situation what feels like more moral grace is the fact that like we all know exactly what he is, which is a scary, violent fucking person.
Yeah.
You know?
Who's trying not to his credit, he seems to hate that part of himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also, I'm Eskimo brothers with Jake Paul, so there might be another like.
yeah, nice.
Yes, I feel weird talking about it because it's like not. I feel weird talking about like a girl I used to date on the podcast.
Yeah.
But it's yes. I am.
I don't know.
She kissed him and his dad in the video.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. And then I found out after we did. Not after, but like after we started dating. She was like, "Oh, yeah, I was in like a Jake Paul video." I was like, "You know Jake Paul?" She's like, "Yeah, I know Jake." Then I watched the video. I was like, "Oh, you made out with him and his dad?" Okay, for views.
Dude.
How was that?
That's
not-
nasty.
That's a classic video, dude.
Well, because the Paul's dad are like, have you seen the
Yeah, I've
video?
seen that video. It's a classic video.
Dude.
I love that Zach is like fucking.
Did you have a minute where you were trying to be like cool with it? It's like, yeah, I'm a cool boyfriend. I'm a cool guy.
Oh no! It wasn't while we were dating. No.
Oh,
But
okay.
I know that my life sounds like it's been an endless string of cuckoldry, but this was this was not while I was dating her. It was before. But yeah, no. Well, the Paul's dad is like he was sort of like he was pulling the strings for a while with them.
Yeah.
They were clearly like his avenue to get famous. That's
Yeah.
why he was like. That's why he would insert himself into videos where he would kiss the same girl as his
That's
son.
that's so creepy. That's like, yeah. I think it's just that makes a lot of sense that they have like a really like a fucked up dad behind their whole
Definitely.
thing. Yeah.
And then this is the kind of boys that it produces, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think men are more malleable, especially when they're young, to be either you could just like turn them into something horrible by just because that need to be like accepted by whatever, like older men or like welcomed into some fraternity or whatever. You could just take advantage of that and be like, yeah, cool, like you're an internet Nazi now.
That's why when you're in a frat, guys will. I mean, they'll rape people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll fucking like they'll rape other men and claim that it wasn't gay. It was hazing.
Boys
dude.
being boys.
Boys being boys. It is funny like how quickly men just will engage in like homosexual rape. You know what I mean? Like if pressured by a community. Anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a thing.
God
Ben,
damn,
you're the
it's
sociologist.
cloudy out. I need some boy ass.
It's fun, like and the hoops they jump through to insist they're not gay. It's like, you know, well, like I was in prison for 4 months. What was I gonna do? Not fuck a guy in the ass?
Dude, it was cloudy out. I'm not gay.
It was
You
a
see that rainbow. What are you gonna do? Not fuck a guy?
Yeah, man. It's called a rainy day fun. That's what I called that load that I blew that day. That was my rainy day fun, dude.
There's a good like Andrew Schultz joke back when Schultz was still funny. He had a joke like where he was talking about his friend and they had to share a bed and his friend like made a wall of pillows between them on the bed and he's like asking his friend why and he's like, how about you just like not fuck me?
It should be easy. Would you guys sleep in a bed with another man?
I have recently.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a whole past of like,
No. I'm talking platonically.
Platonically?
Yeah.
Platonically. I mean, doing
Thursdays.
road gigs, like doing road gigs in like fucking Bend, Oregon. Yeah, dude. I spent 4 days in a bed with my friend Sam, and he's like, he breathes hard.
It's like
dude.
sleeping
It
with a
was
mastiff.
tough, dude.
In a little corner.
I had to take NyQuil every night to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I did that once. I did a road gig. We did the Arlington Draft House in Virginia. We were driving from Maryland, and me and this Rob Marr, who's a great comic. And they put us up at a hotel, but we got to the room and it was just one like queen bed, and he just like looked at the room and he was like, you know what, Nick, why don't you enjoy your first night on the road? And he drove like 2.5 hours back to Maryland because he's like, I'm not.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. He was like a 50-year-old man, and I was
Sure.
like, I was 20 years old. It's like there's no way we're sleeping in the same bed, dude.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of nice if you spooned or something. You know he's the big spoon. You know,
Definitely.
He's the big spoon.
Sleeping with men for him was like Mike Tyson fighting. He's like, I can't wake my ego up again. I gotta let the beast fly. You know.
I'm always the little spoon, well, all my girlfriends have been shorter than me, but I'm always a little spoon, dude.
I don't let them big spoon me, even though I want to be the little spoon, because I just feel like they're gonna not respect me after
Being
that.
the little spoon I definitely might be a sign that I'm autistic because I just like the pressure of it, you know?
Yeah.
I like feeling pressure on my back.
Yeah, you're like a cow. You got, what's her name? Temple Grandin.
Well, girls also have long hair, so
Yeah.
being the big spoon means you just breathe in hair.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. It sucks.
Yeah, it's bad.
I just cut it behind without them knowing. I just
Like you're adjusting.
I cut a little nose hole for myself.
I should start. That would be funny. That'd be a funny way to gaslight your girlfriend, is to cut her hair while she's asleep.
Yeah.
It's
like, what do you mean? It looks-
Is your hair reverse growing?
Looks the way it's always looked to me, babe.
Your hair is shrinking. That's so weird.
My girlfriend just
Tie it in knots and make dreads in the back.
my girlfriend just bleached her eyebrows, and she's really happy with it. But she keeps recoloring them. I'm like, why did you do this?
Like re-bleaching or adding
No,
color?
she
Oh.
keeps making them dark. She bleached her eyebrows. She was so happy with it, but then she like colors them every day. She's like, I just wanted the choice, dude. I'm like, well, you're making the choice to have eyebrows, which you did.
I just want the choice. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I like her without the eyebrows.
Yeah.
You know,
Bleached eyebrows are cool.
Yeah.
they are cool.
That's like when men are crazy, we rape each other. When women are crazy, they just dye their eyebrows.
It is so funny how like my girlfriend will she will just. Yeah, and you have to just let her make the mistake, but she'll just be like looking at pictures of girls who have like dyed their hair. She's like, I feel like I should dye my hair. I'm like, you regret this every time you do it. And she's like, she tells me to shut up, and then she dyes her hair, and then like 50 minutes later, she's like, I don't like how it looks.
Yeah.
I'm like, babe,
Yeah.
don't do this.
Yeah.
Our old roommate, was black, and they bleached their beard and eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
It was supposed to look alternative, but it looked like they'd been stuck in a walk-in freezer for a long time.
It's so true.
It looked like they were just huffing dry ice. It was crazy.
Yeah.
They probably looked like an anime villain, dude.
Yeah, it was honestly very cool.
They look
but-
like the one black character in John Carpenter's The Thing. Icicles in the beard.
I remember we had a friend, our buddy Sean Preston, when we first got out to LA, he moved in with us. He slept in an air mattress in the kitchen because we had a small, it was a 3-bedroom, but like it was a small apartment in South Central, and the kitchen and the living room were like basically the same room. And Sean Preston is like the hottest guy you've ever seen. I mean, like could have been a model, but didn't for some reason. He's just like a funny comic. He would dye his hair so much, and we were like, is he trans? Like, what the fuck what is this need that we couldn't use the shower because he would always be just like changing something about himself in the bathroom.
You're just killing people and getting a new identity constantly.
I mean, no, he was so cool. He had he's the coolest guy ever. He had the best outfits, and he would let me wear them.
Nice.
He put me in a Canadian tuxedo one night. We went out to meet girls. It was
Just all
awesome.
denim.
Nice.
All denim, dude.
Nice.
And it looked nice.
Denim on denim rules.
Yeah.
Denim on denim is such a good look.
Dude, he would dress.
Black denim. I put on black denim. I would start wanting to gaslight girls. I'm just like ready to.
The black denim's nice. You need some Sailor Jerry tattoos under that when you roll
Yeah.
your sleeves up.
Yeah.
Dude, he would dress me up. We
And
would,
you'd be like, "Shut! You're acting like your mother right now."
we would party with MILFs in the valley. That was a nice. I miss that guy. We used
That
to
needs to be a
drive
brand of ranch, MILF Valley.
MILF
dressing.
Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd put that on my salad. Dude.
I
That'd
would,
be a
dude.
little nasty.
I tossed the fuck out of that salad.
We would drive so drunk we would listen. Quincy, are you against drunk driving? I guess it is irresponsible. Maybe that's a story for another time. I feel like we did an hour. Let me check.
Did we?
Yeah,
What are we
an
at?
hour.
Brother, we're at like an hour and 10.
Okay, cool.
All right, hell yeah.
Dope.
Quincy's got to poop.
Oh yeah, let's let Quincy out. All right.
All right.
Nice. We'll see you
All
guys
right,
next week.
cool.
Yeah.